if you look at our guitar, we did take the guitar neck off. We got our strings installed in it, our bridge installed. We got all our pickups installed. We got our volume pot and our tone pot installed. We got our 5-way switch installed. Everything is installed, but we got a situation. And the situation is we have to set this guitar up. Now the first thing I do, okay, when installing my strings, I go ahead and hand stretch them out. I like to stretch them out to make sure that I get all the strings tight and to make sure that the string isn't going to pop out of the bridge over here, okay? Because this is a clamp style bridge, all right? That means that you cut the little eyelets off, stick the string in there, and then right here would be your clamps to hold the strings on there. Now I've had several problems with the first string coming off. This one might come off, okay? We don't know, but if it does, we will replace it, okay, with no problem. So the first thing I do is I go ahead and I stretch my strings out just like you see, okay? I'm stretching it out, and I'm going to tighten it up as I'm stretching it, okay? Okay, and I'm over-tuning the guitar, alright? I'm over-tuning it because what I want to do is I want to make sure those strings are stretched very well. Especially the 3 bigger ones of the guitar, alright? Because those have, that's a solid wire with a winding on it, and you want to make sure that that's stretched. So what we got to do is we got to set our guitar up, and the first thing we're going to do is we are going to set our neck. Okay, now what I mean by set our neck, we're going to get the bow out of it, and we're going to adjust the truss rod. Now what a truss rod is it's a metal rod that runs through your guitar. Now some of them got dual rods, okay? On Fender Stratocasters, the truss rod can be adjusted here, okay? On our guitar, okay, which is 90% of all guitars, okay, it's adjusted through the neck stock right here, okay? Now, to do that, what you're going to need is you're going to need a nice straight edge, okay? Now a lot of people, they're going to use their strings to adjust the truss rod, but the problem you have with that is we don't know if the bridge is adjusted properly, okay? We don't know if the tilt of the neck is adjusted properly, so you will not get an accurate reading, okay? Now where we're going to take our reading to get the accurate reading, we're going to go from between the 7th fret and the 9th fret. I go from the 5th to the 10th, okay? Because that's where the main bow will be at to get your accurate reading. Now, you're going to need your straight edge here. This is just a piece of straight stock. It's 1/4 by, I think that's, what is that? Yeah, that's 1/4 inch by 1/8 inch straight stock. Okay, it's thick stuff. And you need it the length of the neck only, if you see right there what I'm doing. Okay, you don't want it to protrude out toward the bridge, and you don't want any obstacles in its way, and you want to be able to set that right on top of your frets, okay? So you also need the tool, okay? Now this one has a nut inside of it. Some of them have screws, some of them have Allen screws. This one has a nut inside it, so you're going to need the special tool, okay, that will be used to go ahead and fit down inside. Okay, you see what I'm saying? It's going to have to fit down inside there for you to adjust what you need. Now on this we have to tune our guitar to the proper tuning, which is our standard E tuning, before the neck can be set. Okay, you can't have the strings loose, you can't have them too tight, it has to be tuned. So, what I'm going to do to get my tuning proper is I'm going to get on our faithful computer here, which you can't see in the background, but I can see. And I'm going to get on YouTube, okay? And I'm going to put in Guitar standard tuning. And what that's going to do, that's going to bring a page up, okay? And you're going to see how to tune your guitar. And so we'll go ahead and get the sound because, okay, there you go, see? There you go, that's what we want. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. Okay, there you go. So, if you don't know how to tune your guitar by ear or how, you know, without a tuner, go ahead and get the first guitar string tuned, and then you can just I am going to go ahead and put my guitar in my lap at playing level, just like you see, just like I was going to play it. And I'm going to take my rod. Now, before I do that, I'm going to get my feeler gauge out, and I am going to go between 7 and 12. Okay? Those right there that you see are basically the settings of a good guitar neck. Now, if you put your neck at a 7, okay, that's going to be pretty fucking precise, okay? And I don't recommend that because you actually want a slight bow in your neck, okay? If you tighten your truss rod up too much or it's too loose, okay, what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of buzz action. So we're going to go between 10 and 12. We're going to throw the rest of these in the fucking trash, just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and set mine at 11. Now, always keep in mind that if you tighten your truss rod up, okay, when you tighten it up, it's going to make it bow. When you loosen it, it makes it, did I just say that backwards? Okay, let me start over. When you tighten up your truss rod, okay, which is inside the guitar neck, what's going to happen, it's going to hump on you, okay? So you don't want to over tighten it because your neck will start humping. Yeah, humping. If you loosen it up, it'll start bowing because the strings are bringing it to a bow. So always remember that. So tightening is humping and loosening is bowing. I'm going to take my rod, just as you see here, my flat stock rod. I'm going to set it right in between string number 3 and 4. I'm going to take my feeler gauge all at the same time, and I'm going to take my feeler gauge, I'm going to put it on top of number 5 fret and see where we're at. Okay, as I see, that's fitting under there very sloppy and loose, okay? So now I'm going to go to 7. Okay, all these are fucked up. See, this neck has a very, very bad bow in it. So what I got to do is I got to tighten my neck up because there's probably a lot of play in it. This neck has probably never been set in its life straight from the factory, okay, the way that this guitar, the shape this guitar was in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and loosen up the number 4 and the number 3 and the 4 string. Okay, I'm going to leave the rest of them tuned in, and all I'm going to do with these 2 strings is I'm getting them out of the way so I will have room to adjust my neck. And this is going to take several times to actually get the proper setting that I need. Now I'm also tuning the tuning pegs not to disturb the other strings because I want to keep it in a semi-good tuning job because you have to have your guitar in a tuning position to set your neck. So once all the strings are out of the way, we're going to go ahead and take our little Jigmo fucking tool we got here. Okay, and if you remember what I said here about 3 or 4 minutes ago, if you tighten it up, it gives it what? If you tighten it up, it gives it a hump. That means that it will start humping on you. If you loosen it up, it will start bowing on you due to the fact that strings are pulling on the neck and it's bowing it. So we want to tighten it up, okay? If you have your guitar in a playing position laying down, okay, you want to go ahead and stick your tool in there and you want to tighten it up. You want to turn the nut toward you, okay? And don't do this. I'm going to go ahead, because I've done a lot of these, and I'm going to tune it up to the feel that I believe is right. but normally you would go ahead and turn it a quarter of a turn, put the strings together, check it, and keep going from there until you get it right. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten it up to where I think it should be, okay, which was approximately 3/4 to a full turn just now. And then I will go ahead and put my strings back on here, just like you see. And I'm going to go ahead and tighten the strings up, just like you see. Okay, now once the strings are all in tune, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my guitar back in my playing position, just like you see. I'm going to take my feeler gauge, just like you see here. I'm going to take my solid stock, okay, and always check down the edge of that right here to make sure that that doesn't have a bow in it as well, okay. You want a nice, good, solid piece of metal to do this with. So I'm going to go ahead and set that back on there. I still have my 0.011 gauge, okay, handy. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and recheck, and I see that it's actually pushing. I'm just holding this lightly, okay. We don't want to put a tight push on it. We just want to hold it lightly, because what we're doing, okay, that's feeling good there. That's feeling pretty good right there. Okay, what I've just done, I checked it on the 5th fret, and I also checked it on the 9th fret, okay, and it feels like it's in very, very good condition, okay, if you notice. That I have installed here, okay, laying on top of there, I'm going to go ahead and take my feeler gauge, and I'm going to put it on, okay, the 5th, 7th, and 9th fret, and we're going to see what we got. Okay, as I put it on the 5th fret, you can see that it slides in very well, and I can actually feel the tension of it dragging. That's what you want. Okay, I go ahead and put it in the 9th fret, and I feel that it's a little loose right there, the 7th fret. I mean, I come over to the 9th, and I feel once again it's a little bit on the loose side. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and adjust the neck one more time. Okay, if you watch right here, I'm going to go ahead. Loosen my string off enough just to get it out of the way. Okay, and then I'll do the same thing. Wrong one. I'll go ahead and loosen the string. That will be your 4th string. I'll get it out of the way. And then I'm going to take my tool one more time. I'm going to stick it in the slot right here. And I'm just going to make a 1/4 of a turn one more time. Because I almost got it to where I want it, see? And then we're going to go ahead and install our strings back where they go. This is just for showing purposes only. The proper way to do this is in the playing position. Always remember that. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and take my straight flat rod, and then I will take my feeler gauge one more time, and I will test it. And I see that I have a nice pull. I got a nice drag on it, and it's actually lifting it a little bit. So let's go down to a 10 and see what we got. Try to keep the bow in my neck between 10 and 12, because what I use now, this all depends. Another reason that you have to have a nice precisely adjusted neck is because everybody plays with different strings, okay? This is the strings that I use right here, Okay, and if you read the bottom of that, that's 1152. Those are my main strings. I also play with a string such as this on different guitars, okay, and that's a 1356, okay. Now I like the heavy strings due to the fact that it gives your guitar a very, very nice, crisp, deeper, bluesy tone. I play the blues. If you're a metal thrasher and you like to go this fast on the guitar fret and all that shit, you might go with a light string, okay. I use medium to heavy strings, and I set my neck for those strings to play. Okay, so I got my 10 gauge out, and I see that the 10 fits in. If you see, you can see it dragging. Okay, there we go. You can see where the feeler gauge is going through it. Okay, and I'm going from between number 5 fret and number 9 fret. My number 7 is the main. Okay, that's perfectly set. I am gonna leave that right there where it's at. I'm not gonna fuck with it. Okay, so we're done setting the neck. The neck has been set. Don't fuck with the neck. The next step that we are going to do is we are going to set our action. Okay.